Well, Anacláudia, thank you so much for speaking to AnewZ. We've reached pretty much the halfway point now at this event. We're surrounded by this amazing scenery. What are your reflections on the event so far?
Oh my God, intense days to start with. I think the starting point was pretty much amazing. Of course, we were surprised by the rain, but I have been repeating that this is the world we live in. And I believe our host country demonstrated readiness, preparedness, quick reaction, and all the participants, a lot of flexibility for the change of plans. So I think this is a big lesson that everybody will take home. So this is how cities, how communities are living as we speak, right? And we talk about resilience, and this is it. So it's interesting. It was not planned, but
and there aren't that many countries in the world, I guess, that are capable of putting on an event like this. Because as we saw with the weather, you have to cope with the unexpected too, right?
It is, and the solution actually was pretty much good, was fantastic. So we had an amazing opening. Unfortunately, the audience was not able to be physically, but I think everybody understood, Guy, that this is, the context we are in. But to start with that, the opening was very interesting in the sense that we had, for the first time, heads of states. It was a leader summit, and it gives the WUF an extra political weight, especially in a year where we are reviewing the new urban agenda at its midterm after 10 years. I was impressed by the speeches of all heads of states. They all spoke about the theme of the WUF. They spoke about cities, they spoke about urban planning, they spoke about housing, big time, which is something rare, actually, that you see almost technical.
Yes.
And this is interesting because I think we have to bring these words together, the political and the technical word, and we are managing to do that here in Azerbaijan. Yeah,
it's amazing. We were on a panel together yesterday, and I remember that what you said was really noticeable because we had, of course, the visionary speeches, but also we had ministers that were taking the audience through very detailed slides about the actual implementation as well.
Yeah. So, it's positive in the sense that you see that things are moving on the ground. For the first time, I think it was the largest ministerial meeting. We also had other regional ministerial meetings, Africa, Latin America. They took the opportunity of being here and came together to discuss their common issues and bring forward their agendas. But all statements, you can see commitment, the recognition that urbanization is a critical trend that we have to put at the center of our agendas, the development agenda, the climate agenda, because this is in cities where 70% of the population is going to live in 20 years from now. So cities are at the center stage, and at the same time they are suffering, as we saw by the rain, right? They are the ones that have to react, and so on. So having this political commitment from ministers, from heads of states and governments, the technical conversations that I have been able to take part, that experts that came here of highest levels, I think we have been able to, together with Azerbaijan, co-curate, experts coming from, high-level former heads of states, former leaders, but also experts from the universities. I was at this fantastic NGO forum yesterday. The room was crowded, community-based organizations, even the private sector. The private sector is gaining a lot of space at this World Urban Forum. This has not been the case before, and this is pretty much the partnership with Azerbaijan that enabled that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yesterday, just on the panel that we were both at, there was the world's biggest architecture firm, consultants from around the world, people flying in, really getting a sense that it's not just the public sector's problem anymore. Yeah,
we have here mortgage banks, presidents, vice presidents from Canada, from Brazil, real estate developers associations, global associations, local associations, big association from India, FIAPSI, globally, MIPIN, the manager from MIPIN, which is a big gathering, private sector gathering every year in France, was here. We have for the first time the Business and Innovation Hub, which was one idea that emerged from Azerbaijan, actually locally, where we are bringing also the startups, the ones who are starting. So the big business, but also the small, the starting, emerging business. I hope these are features that will stay. As many of them came for the first time.
Yes.
And in our conversation, they're all impressed by the WUF, and it's like a discovery for them.
Yes.
Because when we interacted, we found out that there is room for us to work together. We, UN Habitat, we, the United Nations, in advocacy, in knowledge, in data, in identifying the financial models that are going to work. But the most important thing is there is appetite. So there's appetite from the business sector to invest in housing, to invest in cities, and not invest anyhow. Invest in the right way that will work for the people, that will work for the nature, but also generate business because they are business. And this perspective is clearly here. I don't know if it reflects the overall, but having these stakeholders here with us gives us a lot of expectation and hope that a transformation is possible, that a new model of co-living and doing things and doing business and doing policy might work.
Okay, so a lot's been achieved so far, lots of conversations, the investments there, the appetite, as you say, is there. What are you looking for over the next few days and then between this WUF and the next one?
Yeah. So what I'm looking for is that we close with solid, summary from the ministerial discussion chaired by Azerbaijan. I think this will be a legacy that will be brought, I believe, by the country here to the co-facilitators of the new urban agenda. So a concrete input to the political declaration that will be negotiated in New York very soon. A strong Baku call to action by stakeholders, where stakeholders own this declaration. They could be used as, points of monitoring for the future when we come back. In 2 years, the next WUF, we should actually look back to these documents and see what is the progress, right? What we have achieved in 2 years. And I also hope that not only UN Habitat, but all people here, they will be able to seal strong partnerships, because as you see, we walk around, we see people having coffee together, talking, and this is at the meeting rooms, this is the perfect place for people to come together and deal and find ways to cooperate, to work together. I hope that people leave Baku also with a clear notion of the pathways that we have to address housing in cities. So this is the direction, these are the pathways, these are the trends, and these are the kind of more consensus of the way we should go, but also concrete practices, because we are bringing concrete practice. For the first time, we're having the practices up and concrete action on the ground. Also, another feature that I would like to highlight in our conversation, guys, since we're talking about the stock taking, I was very impressed by the academia, WUF Academy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yesterday we launched that, how the universities came together from all over the world, from Azerbaijan, elsewhere, really willing to partner with us to work on capacity development. This has been one of the big demands that we receive. At this point in time, people want to know how they solve the problem, and they have to have they want to have access to capacity.
Yes.
Of course, finance is always an issue, but I do believe at this point in time, people are more willing to look at what's possible in terms of financial, instead of expecting that some magic finance will come.
Yes. Yeah.
And then looking domestically, looking internally. And so these efforts I value. I'm not saying that we shouldn't address international finance needs to be there, needs to be available for cities and housing. But seeing the efforts to look at internally, domestically, so these are the resources, let's build capacity, let's agree on the how, let's find some resources to move ahead. And this is the spirit that I feel here at this World Urban Forum.
Okay, great spirit here. Lots been achieved already. Lots more work to do, though. Executive Director, thank you so much for joining us on AnewZ.
Well, finally, everybody loves it. It's beautiful.
It really is. It really is. It really is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.